The Golden Age short film series Our Gang, also known as The Little Rascals, featured a rotating cast of over 40 different child performers during its 2 decades in production. However, one of the most memorable of those child performers has proved to be Darla Hood. After filming over 50 films in the Our Gang series, Darla went on to have a nice life. However, she died tragically from a mistake during a medical procedure. Join Factsverse as we explore the tragic life and death of Darla Hood from Our Gang. Darla Hood was born November 8, 1931, in Leedy, Oklahoma. She was the only child of a bank worker named James and a mother named Elizabeth, who taught music. Given her mother's predilection for musical teachings, Darla took to music at an early age. Seeing her daughter's potential, Elizabeth began taking Darla to expensive singing and dancing classes at the age of 3. That teacher ended up seeing great potential in Darla as well, and was able to convince Elizabeth to take her daughter to New York City to see if she could become a child star. Elizabeth took Darla to New York, where her daughter began singing and dancing in front of the band at the Edison Hotel. The young girl began drawing quite a crowd night after night, and eventually caught the eye of a notable casting director. That was Joe Rivkin, the casting director for the Our Gang series of short films. As the casting director for Hal Roach Studios, Joe was the man in charge of getting talent for the Our Gang series. When he saw Darla performing, he knew she would be a perfect addition to the rotating cast. Joe invited Darla to come screen test for Hal Roach Studios, and she impressed the producers there as much as she had impressed him. At the age of only 3, Darla was given her first contract with a production studio. Upon the successful screen test, Darla and her family moved to Culver City, California, where the studio was. From that point forward, Darla became a staple in the Our Gang series. She made her debut in 1935, playing a character named Cookie. However, the name of her character was changed to her own name in subsequent short films. Darla was only 4 when she made her 1935 debut. She continued performing in the series until 1941. Over the course of this time, her character became the love interest of many of the male kids, most famously Alfalfa. One of Darla's most memorable moments from the short films include the moment when she sang Francis Langford's 1935 hit single, I'm in the Mood for Love. This was in the 1936 short feature, The Pinch Singer. Darla's final appearance in an Our Gang film was in the 1941 short feature, Wedding Worries. After over half a decade spent acting in the series, she no longer fit in amongst the show's increasingly younger cast members. During the same time Darla had worked on the series, she had also worked with beloved Golden Age comedians Laurel and Hardy in their feature, The Bohemian Girl. After leaving the series, Darla worked with MGM for a few more years and appeared in several feature films before attending high school and deciding she'd rather be a singer than an actress. The Our Gang series of short films had also been known as The Little Rascals or Hal Roach's Rascals. The latter name was taken from Hal Roach Studios, which produced the series. The films were centered on a group of poor children from the same neighborhood who spent their time playing together. It was known for its progressive depiction of society, including the portrayal of white and black children together. Hey, if you're enjoying this video so far, be sure to give it a like, and subscribe to Factsverse if you haven't already. Although Darla hadn't even been born at the time, the Our Gang series got its start in 1922. Hal Roach, the owner and founder of Hal Roach Studios, created it. Hal had previously been credited for putting together the comedic duo of Laurel and Hardy, which makes it then no surprise Darla showed up in one of their features. The Our Gang series originally started as a silent short film series. The concept was to portray children behaving in a naturalistic way, which Hal believed would be intrinsically comical to the audience. Children had rarely been depicted accurately on film until that point, with most child performers being trained singers and dancers who could accurately mimic their adult counterparts. Although Darla was certainly a skilled singer and dancer, Our Gang utilized her for her childish charm more than for her ability to mimic older singers and dancers of the time. In 1929, the series changed from silent features to features with sound. After this, it became even more popular. This led to the most popular period, which Darla would come in during and eventually help define with her character. New short films in the series were produced until 1944, though Darla had left by 41. Over 200 films were produced in the series, and over 50 featured Darla. MGM was the distributor, and Darla found continued work with them until she decided to leave the industry to pursue her education as a teenager. After having been a Hollywood star for a decade, Darla became just another high school girl when she attended Fairfax High School in LA. While she appreciated this break into normalcy, she eventually decided she wanted to find her way back into stardom. But this time, she wanted to do it a new way that didn't involve any acting. Although Darla memorably sang in the Our Gang series, they didn't truly utilize her musical chops like she had wanted. As a teen, Darla decided to start her own musical group to finally fulfill her musical promise. The group was named Darla Hood and the Enchanters. Although the group may not have risen to the heights of the most popular pop groups of the era, their music was modestly successful and featured in several movies. Darla went on to record over a dozen albums and became a regular on the radio show of DJ Merv Griffin. At some point, Darla resumed her early career as a nightclub performer, where she found a good deal of success. Another career avenue Darla explored during her adult years was performing commercial jingles. Although the job may not have brought her much prestige, it did allow her to make some pretty nice money. Darla also made some memorable appearances alongside notable figures like Jack Benny and Groucho Marx. Darla performed a recurring series of sketches on the Jack Benny program that parodied the Our Gang series. She could no longer get away with playing a little girl, so she was cast as Alfalfa instead. Darla had known Jack since her days of the Our Gang series, and the two had a close friendship. Darla was married 2 times over the course of her life. Her first husband was Robert W. Decker, an insurance salesman attempting to moonlight as a singer. They were married from 1949 to 57. She married another time in 1957, this time to Jose Granson, a successful executive at a record company. Darla and Jose stayed together until the event of the former's tragic death, and they had 3 children during that period. On June 13, 1979, Darla had been brought to the hospital for a routine appendectomy. It seemed all had gone well with the procedure, but Darla died of a surprise and sudden heart attack shortly after its completion. As it turns out, the blood that had been given to Darla in the transfusion had been contaminated with hepatitis. This exposure caused the ensuing fatal heart attack, and she was pronounced dead at the age of only 47. Over the course of its 2-decade production run, the Our Gang series featured over 40 different child performers in its constantly rotating cast. Many believe there has been a curse amongst the former members, and the tragic death of Darla is often held up as an example. Among the other Our Gang cast members that met tragic ends include Carl Switzer, who played Alfalfa. Carl was shot to death at the age of only 31. Now it's time to hear from you. Were you a fan of the Our Gang series of shorts? Let us know in the comments section below. And before you go, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to Facts First if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.